So.
Yeah. But you know, I think I think things are going to work out for the better in the community, and of course I can. I'm a realist, and I can understand frustration. Nobody has more frustration than I do.
What do you think people are frustrated about most?
They're frustrated at the fact that we're all in a learning mode, okay? And I can understand your position too, okay? And sometimes it irritates the heck out of me, okay? And some of the things I do irritates you, but I can live with it. I can live with that. But they have to understand that as we go along, we're going to become smarter. We're going to become better.
And that's true with every entity, right?
Yeah.
Every entity you're supposed to get smarter and better. And so don't you think that a lot of things should have been looked up ahead of time?
Well,
I mean, y'all worked on this for 4 years, right? You and Federal worked for 4 years?
Not a full 4 years.
But you started in 2010.
Yeah.
So you worked for 4 years, and for example, hold on a second, you brought a proposed budget that would have taxed people retroactively, and then you said that you didn't know about it.
At the beginning, I didn't know that we could tax on the year that we were incorporated.
Right.
And only because we were incorporated in May.
Then why, if you didn't know that, why did you present that budget to the city council?
Well, that budget was done. That was done after.
After what?
No budget was developed. No budget was developed
Okay.
before I was sworn in.
I know that. You brought that budget for the budget hearing. You brought a budget, right? Because that's your job as a mayor.
Yes.
Why did you bring a budget that taxed people retroactively?
Because it was legal by law, but it was not.
It's fine if it's legal by law, but why did you want to tax people retroactively?
It was one of the options to bring forward, and I don't have to skate around the issue. It was not bought by the aldermen. Okay, they saw, and I saw. Once I fully. This thing kind of caught me by surprise too, but the thing about the very first budget was we could tax these people, all of the people, and the first thing I thought about when we were discussing it at the hearing was, wait a minute, we've got a lot of people out here.
Yeah, we do.
Who are below the poverty line.
About 50%.
That's right, 52% as a matter of fact,
Yep.
according to Bear County numbers. Those people, I didn't think deserved to be taxed and be caught short like that, because most of them live in hand to mouth.
Then why did you present a budget that taxed them? The budget that you brought forward, that you wanted the city council to approve, would have taxed people retroactively. Why did you bring that forward?
It didn't get approved.
It didn't get approved, but
It didn't get approved.
It didn't get approved, but that's the one you presented. You said, "Hey, I want this budget." Would you have liked for that to have been approved?
Now, no.
No, not now. At the time when you presented it, did you want it?
At the time, no.
Then why did you present that budget? Why would you present a budget you didn't want approved?
It was one of the alternatives. It was one of the. I had two alternatives. Okay?
What was the second one?
Zero.
Then why didn't you present that to begin with?
Because
what if the city council had approved it? Would you have gone along with that budget?
I would have had no choice. I'm not in a position because I'm the mayor. Doesn't mean that I rule with an iron hand.
You presented the budget.
Yes,
that was your choice.
Yes.
You chose to present a budget that taxed people for the entire year.
But there was two alternatives. Okay.
So your hope hold on a second. Your hope was that you're going to present a budget that would tax everybody, and you'd hope that the city council wouldn't choose it. That was your hope.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Because you understanding one thing is, I don't know all the people that are around me. I don't know these folks. Okay, Mickey was a stranger to me. David was an absolute stranger to me. Ernie, I was closer to Ernie than anyone on the board.
Right.
But I like them all. I really do. I like.
What does that have to do with the question?
But it has nothing to do with the question you're asking.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with my question.
Okay. But
did you propose a budget?
Yes, I did propose a budget
that taxed everyone for the entire year.
Taxed everyone for the entire year.
With the hope that no one would vote for it.
No, it was not the hope that nobody would vote for it. It was an option to put out there because we had nothing. Okay. We had nothing in the bank, and yes, I did consider that option to get.
So you would have been okay with taxing people?
Oh, sure, but at a minimum. At a minimum. One of the things, if you recall, I didn't say this was hard and fast because when that budget was made, when that budget was produced, we were under the impression from the appraiser's office that the value of the Sandy Oaks city was $54 million. And because of the way Waterwood developed it, okay, where they sold a piece of property, okay, so now you were paying a tax to Waterwood, okay.
We aren't paying a tax to Waterwood.
Yes, your property taxes were paid to Waterwood because Waterwood collected them, because what they didn't do was they didn't register those pieces of property at the county. They kept them in their office.
Gotcha.
Okay? And then people were buying mobile homes, putting them on their property. Now they had a chattel mortgage on their home. And Waterwood had the mortgage on their property. And when we became a city, then the appraisal district had to go, and they couldn't just put the numbers in the machine and have it like it does now. They had to go in and they had to hand massage every single one of them.
Okay.
And when they finished up, it's almost $90 million. And that's considerable. That means that the amount of money that we could estimate coming in.
So if the city was valued at $90 million instead of $54 million, you would have been okay with taxing people?
At a lower rate, much lower rate.
Okay.
At a much lower rate. And I stated that. And as a matter of fact, if I recall correctly, David Tremblay
wanted it lowered.
Wanted it lowered, and I was for that. And I was for that 100%.
But you were also for taxing people retroactively. That's what you just said.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, I would have. But
and you see how that people can be upset about that?
Sure they can be upset.
Because that was the last week of September. The fiscal year started in October. That would have given people 1 or 2 weeks to find out that they had to find money for the entire past year.
Yeah, that's right. And
do you think people should be upset with you about that?
Sure, and they are, and they have been. And you weren't upset. You're giving people 1 or 2 weeks to come up with money for the entire past year. Why is that okay? It's not to say that it is okay.